So today I wanted to show you our job board monitoring, and this isn't just your regular LinkedIn job board, basically all the job boards that are out there, plus also internal career pages. So let me show you how this works in the backend and what you actually get as data points. So when we set this setup up for one of our clients, they will get an Airtable database where they can manage their job titles and locations on their own they want to scrape. So for this example demo, I just put in 4 sales titles like AEs, SDRs and head of sales, also with different variations. The limit here is pretty much endless. So we have some clients that are monitoring 100 or 200 different combinations. So in the backend, each day an automation will take these job queries with different combinations, put them against our database and our API, which is monitoring multiple job boards and also internal career pages. And in the end, they will end up in a clay table. And of course, we will set this clay table up for you, but you see right here, just a few example jobs that are being pulled in here. We see their job titles, when the job was posted, and also the job publisher. And you can see there are a lot of different job publishers out there, and even some internal career pages, for example, Comcast careers right here. We also have the employer name, the job description, the employer website. And what we then basically do is we have like a block list of recruiting companies, so that every recruiting company that has the job ad will get filtered out. And then we of course can use AI to look at the job description details and pull it out in a structured format, right? So we'll have the location that is mentioned, we'll have the salary, benefits, work mode, so is it on-site, hybrid or remote, and also main tasks and key skills that the company is looking for. What we also can do, and this is the first step of getting like the right contact person or decision maker at this company, often at the end of a job ad there's like a contact or the responsible hire mentioned, and we will also extract the email, phone number or person that is mentioned here. Then we'll go ahead and enrich the company, so we have all their LinkedIn data, like their size, and can also use this to filter down. So depending on your ICP and targeting, you could like filter out small companies, you could filter out big companies, you can qualify depending on certain industries. And once this is done, you basically have an enriched company that you have an intent trigger for, so they are hiring, they have put out a job ad, and the next step would then be to find decision makers. So let me just actually run this. And while this runs, I will tell you what happens in the background. So normal find decision maker flows or find people flows that other lead gen agencies will set up for you. They will just look at like static list of decision maker job titles. What we will do in this workflow is actually, it's a dynamic workflow. So depending on company size, but also on the open job that's being advertised, it will try to find the next higher seniority person that is responsible for this job. So if it's like a head of sales role, it will try to find director of sales, VP of sales, or even chief sales officer. But if it's just like a normal SDR, it might try to find the head of sales. So we find always the right person to reach out to this depending on open job and also company size. And of course you can give your input on your normal job titles you would source, but this is just our usual approach in this. So once I filtered on, for example, a few job titles and decision makers we found in this run, you see for the SDR position, and those were all SDR positions in here, it found different job titles and will always try to find a few more than just one at this company. And in this case, these are Director Global Account Management, VP Account Management, Director Enterprise Sales, Technical Sales Managers. So you see they are all relevant to the job because those are sales jobs. They are all relevant to that and are in a higher seniority, so they have some responsibility for building their team. And then, like the usual clay workflows, if you know them already, we will normalize the location, the key skills. We'll normalize it everything in a format so you can use it in your outreach. And of course, we'll enrich their LinkedIn, their email account in a validated way, so we can reach out to them via email, double verify it, and then depending on your outreach framework, your copy, you can then, for example, use a job problem assumption, which could look like this. I saw a job posting for a sales representative and assume you're facing challenges for generating your business opportunities and qualifying leads effectively. So basically based on a job opening, we then assume a problem on why they're hiring or what they're trying to achieve with it and build a messaging around this. And then in the end, you can push this to smartly or instantly for an automated email outreach, or you can even use Lemlist for LinkedIn multi-channel. But that's not enough. So we've now found decision makers on the relevant position for this company. But what the next step would actually be is then once maybe you sign them as a client, we can also on autopilot find you the right candidates for this job. So I will actually need to go back into the first table and actually run this find candidates workflow, which is also pretty similar. So it looks at the open job on the job title and the key skills that are being, the company wants to have in the company, and uses them to find the right candidates. So as you see, as this workflow has only been run for a few jobs, this is not too much volume, but you see the right persons are being found. So you see, for example, Lewis and Taylor right here are currently also sales and business development representatives in California, and we could now enrich them, and we even have like a step for candidate evaluation to double check, are they a fit for this job or not, and why. And then we usually try to find their personal email and then also add them to some outreach via LinkedIn, so you can connect with them on their LinkedIn profile, and you can also send emails to their personal emails. So with this fully end-to-end automated system, you will be able to each day monitor new relevant jobs that come into your market, qualify the job opening, qualify the company if it's in your ICP, and if yes, you can also automatically directly find the right decision makers depending on the open job title, reach out to them, but also for you in the back end, you can directly try to improve your talent pool and find relevant candidates for these roles you're monitoring. So by using this in the back end on autopilot, grow your client base, grow your talent base, and it's even directly matched and correlated to each other. And this is fully automated. So you can just monitor and edit the job titles you want to track, and then in the end you will get the positive replies into a Slack notification and just call them and handle it from there. So with this workflow I just showed you, you will be able to monitor all the different job titles and locations you are currently trying to place, find the right companies hiring for these positions you are placing, qualify them based on location, company size, all your criterias, and then also directly find the right decision makers at these companies depending on the open job title, validate their email address, and then put them into outreach sequences. Once they reply positively and show some interest on your outreach, we will give you a Slack notification and you can directly reach out to them. But not only we will find you the right companies in your market that are currently hiring and build out your TAM, but we will also help you to find the right candidates to fill these positions. So those two pools, your client pool and your candidate pool, will grow correlated, right? So if you find a new relevant job opening, we'll find the right decision maker and we'll find the right candidate to even place at that role. So everything that's left to do, that your team needs to take care of, is handle the positive replies, do the relationship building, do the calls with your clients, with your candidates to qualify them and prepare them for the interviews. And you will have way more time on your team because they don't spend time scrolling through LinkedIn job boards, and you will eventually find even more jobs and companies you wouldn't even notice because you were just limited to LinkedIn or Indeed and not monitoring the whole internet and all the internal career pages like we do with this automation. So if you found this interesting, leave a like, subscribe, and check out our LinkedIn profiles, and also check out this next video.